think hopefully that is the right number. I'm going live on YouTube, and let's put that on the TMK study group, and then we can start.
You can find in Sri S.M.S. Chari, Fundamentals of Vishishtadvaita, page number 38. Criticism of Anekanta of Jainism.
Oh, really? Is it there? Where?
Yeah, is there. S.M. Chari, Sri S.M. Chari book.
Yes, page
Oh,
number
okay.
38. Yeah,
Page
it has
38.
it.
That is interesting. That's interesting. I had not seen that properly.
No, just now I was scrolling it.
Yes, I also got it. It is there.
Okay, I put it here. Now TMK study group is fine. And now we will go directly here. Okay, got it. Okay, I'll let me find my email, and in a minute we should be able to see it. Okay, can you see my share screen?
Yeah, but it's in an angle, but yes, we can see it. Yes.
Is okay, right? A little bit of small angle, that's all. It's okay. I will tell you what it is. Okay, now we are live. We are live. We should want to make sure it's being recorded. Yeah, I think we are live. Sharing screen more. Okay, yeah, we are live. Okay. See, I want to show this, but before this, let me share with you first Jainism. The one small thing on Jainism. Okay, let's show that. 1 second, I'll show you where that is. Okay. Okay. Let me share this in a different way. It is from the current slide. Just a second, it should. Okay, you can see my PowerPoint, right?
Yes.
Okay. See, let us examine if there is any similarity between Vishishtadvaita and Jainism. Jainism uses the concept called Anekantavada or Saptabhangi Vada. By the way, you should not take Jainism very, very lightly. Long time back, about 40 years back, I had an opportunity to work with a professor called Professor Hebbar. And we just met in Washington, D.C. And there, he told me that there is a very tough work known as Mallisena Syadvada Manjari. Syadvada is the Vada we are talking about. That is same as the Anekantavada. That is same as the Saptabhangi Vada, which is explained by the Jain people. We want to understand that because we want to understand how are we different from the Jain people. So we have to understand Jain view first. The Saptabhangi, interestingly, at the time we studied the entire Mallisena Suri's Syadvada Manjari there at the time, that is 40 years back. And we even wrote an English book on it, which we never published. Okay, so this is very familiar to me, even though the concepts are very difficult. I may not be able to explain everything correctly, but we'll see what happens. The term Saptabhangi refers to 7 points of view from which reality can be viewed. So anything which is real can be viewed from 7 perspectives, 7 points of view. Syad means from one of the perspectives, from one standpoint. So the thing is, from one point, the reality is like that. If you look at from the other point, reality is like that. If you look at from some other point, reality is like that. So all are possible views of reality at the same time. That means the syat, sometimes some people, the word syat, they take as doubt. It does not mean the word doubt. Syat means it is only from a particular point of view. Let us look at their viewpoint. So this is the Saptabhangi Vada. Methodology of sevenfold predications as per the Anekanta view are as follows. Syad asti. From a particular point of view, it is. That is, some particular object or some particular concept is there. Syad asti. The other point, from a different point of view, syad nasti. It is not. Syad asti nasti means from a still different point of view, it is and it is not also. Syad avaktavyam, from one point of view, it is inexpressible. That is what the Advaitis call as anirvachaniya, right? That is same as inexpressible. Avaktavyam, that means it's not expressible. Syadasti avaktavyam. From a point of view, it is and it is inexpressible. See, the syadasti is one word, avaktavyam also. That means there are two attributes here. Two, I should say, aspects combined together. That is, it is there and it is inexpressible. From a different point of view, from another point of view, syad nasti avaktavyam. That means it is not and it is inexpressible. So, syad asti nasti avaktavyam. From a different point of view, it is and it is not and it is inexpressible. So, all possible points are valid regarding reality. Why did this come like this? Anybody? Why did they start talking about a philosophy like this? Anybody, can anybody say? Why did such a view come to surface? What was the situation? Say, Jainism existed a long time back. Jainism has been there 500 years prior to the Common Era. Anyone, any thoughts, any guesses?
I think they have not read the truth.
What?
Hello?
Uh-huh.
I think they have not read the truth.
That is a one view. Let's say, okay, that is a view. See, the situation there was Buddhism looked at this from a very Buddhism talked about the middle path. Do you people understand what is the middle path?
No.
Yes.
What is middle path? See, why are we talking seriously means to understand our system of thought, we at least have to have an overview of other Indian systems of thought to understand that we are different from a particular system. We are different from Buddhism. We are different from Mahayana. We are different from Sthaviravada. We are different from Jainism. So we have to understand the Sri Vaishnava Vishishtadvaita philosophy as a unique concept. Or else we will not be able to clearly experience the beauty or clearly place see, all these are concepts. So you have to, if it is oh, this is a tiger, this is an elephant. I just show my finger and so this is an elephant. This is a tiger. We can do that. But concepts are difficult to point out to. And so we need to understand our concepts very clearly. So middle path is, on one end, go ahead. Just I want to guess because you have to start thinking, because this whole exercise of Darshana is about thought process. We have to develop our thought process.
Is it two levels of reality as proposed by Mahayana Buddhists?
That's a good point. But two levels of reality, that's a good point. In a way, it is close, but it is not what the middle path is not about it. Middle path definitely involves two levels of reality. Vyavaharika Satya, what they call it as Samvriti Satya, and what they call it as Paramarthika Satya. That is Buddhist point of view, right? Buddhist point of view looks at Samvriti Satya and Paramarthika Satya. Samvriti Satya is similar to Vyavaharika Satya of the Advaitis. And Paramarthika Satya is similar to the Paramarthika Satya of Advaitis in the Buddhism, right? Now, in Buddhism, what they wanted is, on one end is the complete adherence to Asti concept. Asti concept is something exists. That is absolute knowledge. Absolutely Brahman exists. Absolutely something exists. See, that absolute existence is on one end of the spectrum. And the other end is absolute non-existence. That is total nihilism. The word nihilism is complicated. I would say the other end is nothing exists. So everything is illusory, is one end of the spectrum. On the other end, everything exists and everything is absolute. So we have two ends of the spectrum. And the Buddhists say, I am somewhere in between. That is middle path. Neither this nor this. So that is why they say Shunya. Shunya is, in a way, avachya, inexpressible. But Shunya is not exactly what you think as what exists. Shunya is, they define Shunya as Chatushkoti Vinirmuktam Tattvam Madhyamika Viduhu. What is Chatushkoti? Can anybody say what is Chatushkoti? I will slow down if you don't understand. Please, these are concepts to be understood. It may take a little bit, little while.
Chatushkoti is this thing 4 crores of what?
You can't say Koti as crore, right?
Okay.
Koti is class.
Oh, okay.
Classification. It is class 1, class 2, class A, or,
okay.
right? Like that. So Chatushkoti Vinirmukta means what?
Is it beyond some classes?
Right. It is beyond 4 classes.
4 classes.
So this is known as this is very interesting, very important, because slowly it may take some time for people who are not familiar with these kinds of terms. But in our Siddhantam, that is defining Vishishtadvaita Vedantam, you already know that we need to know how we are different from Buddhism, right? So we need to understand Buddhism concepts and other concepts people had at that time very seriously. Sankhya, Nyaya Vaisheshika, these are very important philosophies at that time. So here, Chatushkoti is not that easy. And unfortunately, let me bring, this is known as 4-cornered argument. This was put through, I think it was created in the Madhyamika school, maybe from Nagarjuna. I will just put that here so that as some concept, so that we can store this concept somewhere. And I'm going to, before going to Chatushkoti, we will try to understand what this is, right? Okay. You can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay. Just a second. What happened? See, in particular, Chatushkoti is a four-cornered system of argumentation that involves a systematic examination of each of the four possibilities of a proposition. What does a proposition can have four possibilities according to them? What is the four possibilities? P, that is being. So it exists. Not P, that is not being. So it doesn't exist. P and not P. It exists and not exists. That is, it is being and that is not being. Not P or not P. That is, neither it exists, neither it is a being, nor it is not being. So it is beyond. So there are only four classes which can exist for any particular object. You can just say here, Brahman exists, is being. Brahman is not existent. Brahman is both existent and non-existent. Brahman is neither existent nor non-existent. So using this, it is known as tetralemma. Tetralemma is four views of an object. So this, they say Shunya is that which is not explicable in these four categories. Chatushkoti means four categories. Koti means category. Just remember that always, right? Koti is not the number. Koti is category. So an object which does not come under any of these four categories is Shunya. Shunya is not zero. Shunya is not completely non-existent. If it is non-existent, it would come under number two category. That is not being. It's not true. So Buddhism also tried to say that reality is somewhere in between existent and non-existent, which is completely out of this four. Madhyamika said that. And Advaitins modified it. That's a different question. Now coming back to Saptabhangi
One question here, excuse me.
Yes.
In the four Chatushkoti Vada, in everything they recognize that is, that. What do they mean that?
Tattva. Right? Tattva means whatever reality is. Reality is maybe what is experience, what is phenomena, what are we see? Buddhists also definitely experience the world, right? They experienced dukkha, sukha. They're all human beings like us, right? At the end of the day, they wanted to paraphrase and say, what is this reality? Some people say, Anityam asukam lokam imam prapya bhaja swamam is there in the Bhagavad Gita. Anityam asukam lokam. So if you only take the first sentence, what happens? The whole universe is anitya, which is, what do you call, what is anitya? Anitya is non-eternal. Asukha, it is, there is no sukha in this universe. We think that there is value in anything we give. We do so many things in life. Finally find out that it is not giving much sukha. Initially, it appears sweet. Afterwards, it becomes a problem in life. Some health problem comes. Initially, something appears so wonderful. After some time, it becomes a pain, like drudgery of daily, life. So the whole universe is made of this anitya asukam lokam imam prapya. If you just take the first sentence, that is 100% Buddhism, right? And we can say Krishna is Buddhist. So we have a view of life. So Buddhism wanted to understand what life means. And that tattva of life, the essence of life, essence of what reality is, they wanted to say it is beyond these four categories. It doesn't exist. It neither exists nor exists. It's either the both or neither the both. So that's what they wanted to say as Tattvam Madhyamika Viduhu. See, this Madhyamika Paksha is not that easy because we have to go deeper and deeper and deeper to understand it. But I can give you one more view of it. One more view is, assume, say, you want to, this is known as the concept of dependent, pratitya samutpada, or dependent origination, they say, right? Say you say fruit. You know, fruit is not complete by itself. Fruit is caused by a tree. And then you go and find out where is the tree. So the fruit is by itself does not have a unique value. You may eat and you may be happy with the fruit and you enjoy it, that's enough. But the problem is where the fruit itself depends on something else. The fruit depends on the tree. What does the tree depend on? The tree depends on so many other factors like the sunlight, the minerals, the water, and also the seed of mango tree means you need a mango seed. You need a special type of minerals, you need water, you need all the. So the tree itself has no intrinsic value. The fruit itself does not have any intrinsic value. So when you go to tree, you start looking at sunlight. Sunlight depends on the sun. Where does the sun depend on? Sun depends on some universal star system which it came out of. So you go on and on and on and on. You see that nothing is self-sufficient. Nothing has intrinsic value. Asara. There is no sara in anything. This was very fundamental to Buddhists. They say it is sarvam asaram, sarvam dukhamayam. All, it does not have a unique value, intrinsic value. Hence, this universal life, whatever phenomena we experience life here, it has no real value. There is no intrinsic value. It depends on something, and finally, there is nothing. Nothing means it is not that nothing exists. It does not have intrinsic value. This is the idea of Buddhist Madhyamika view. Any questions?
No.
Okay. So now we slowly understand Madhyamika view because Vedanta Shikar constantly refers to Madhyamika view. He rarely refers to Jain view because we are not very interested in Jain view. But what, unfortunately, somebody like a great person like Vidyaranya, who is celebrated even today, if you go any Advaiti, you talk to any Advaiti, oh, Vidyaranya Mahamuni, they say. So the thing is, such a Muni has targeted Vishishtadvaita and said that is Jaina Paksha. So what is that Jaina Paksha? Let us see. Now, Jaina Paksha says reality differs from the point of view you view it. So so Jaina Paksha came to create a via media between extreme non-existence and extreme existence. What Jaina Paksha said is there may be several views, but all views are true. In any object, if you pick up any object, Brahman, from particular point of view, Brahman exists. From particular point of view, Brahman does not exist. From particular point of view, Brahman exists and non-exists. From particular point of view, Brahman is inexpressible. From particular point of view, Brahman exists and it is inexpressible. From particular point, Brahman does not exist and still it is inexpressible. From particular point, Brahman exists and it does not exist and it is inexpressible. This is the Saptabhangi Vada of Jainism, right? Now, look at our Siddhanta. Why did we get into this trouble? Okay. Ramanuja.org's direct words we see here, and also we have a fundamental problem in our text here. We want to understand. This is the original, whatever print we got from Tatparya Deepika. Just a small introduction. Tatparya Deepika was written by a celebrated author called Sudarshana Suri, who was a senior contemporary probably of Vedanta Desika and Pillai Lokacharya, I think. And probably there's some war happened, some battle, and I think they were moving from one place to the other, and it seems the Sudarshana Suri's text works of Sri Bhashya explanations. I think Vedanta Shika protected them or something like that. And Sudarshana Suri wrote Vedartha Sangraha's explanation in his own words called Tatparya Deepika. So this page is from Vedartha Sangraha, which was the first book, first grantha written by Sri Ramanujacharya. Here, Evam Sati Abhedo Va. If this is so there was a lot said earlier. There was, obviously, we need to read the prior texts and prior chapters. But we assume, don't worry too much about it. We'll try to understand what Ramanujacharya says here. Evam Sati Abhedo. Are we talking about Abheda or one? There's only one entity. Bhedova. Are we talking about difference between entities? Dvayatmakatava. Are we talking about both Abheda and Bheda in some way? That means it's somewhere in between. It is both Bheda. That means in a way it's difference, in a way it is one. Vedanta Vedyaha Koyam Arthaha Samarthito Bhavati. Vedanta Vedyaha means what is to be known by Vedanta. That is Brahman. That Brahman, what do we say about that Brahman? Koyam Arthaha Samarthito Bhavati. What gets established? Sarvasya Veda Vedyatvat Sarvam Samarthitam. Both Bheda is indicated in the Vedas. Abheda is indicated in the Vedas. And Dvayatmakata or somewhere in between is also indicated in the Vedas. Sarvam Samarthitam. So we support, we think that Bheda is supported in the Shrutis, Abheda and Bheda, all are supported in the Shrutis. Now is an important point here. Sarva Sharirataya, Sarva Prakaram, Brahmaiva, Avasthitamiti, Abhedaha Samarthitaha. Sarva Sharirataya means Brahman is the Shariri, Antaryami. So everything else other than Brahman is Sharira of Brahman, Chit and Achit, sentient and insentient beings. They're all the Sharira, body of Paramatma. And Sarva Sharirataya, Sarva Prakaram, Brahmaiva Avasthitam. So in any particular situation, you pick up anything, you pick up a book. The book is not a book. Book is Brahman. In what way? Brahman, which exists with this paper and all these characteristics of a book as its attributes. So in the form of the book, Brahman is there. Without Brahman, we cannot even talk about this book or paper or anything like that, because all entities are ensouled, controlled, supported, adhara, niyama, niyamaka, adhara, and shesha, sheshi. That means this book exists not for my purpose or your purpose or anything, only for the purpose of pleasing the Lord, for his use, to help him realize his own plans. So he is Sarva Shariri. Sarva Sharirataya Sarva Prakaram Brahmaiva Avasthitam iti Abheda Samarthitaha. Here says, oh, here we say Abheda. How can you say Abheda when there is Sharira and Shariri? There are two things here. How can you say Abheda? But Ramanujacharya says that because one exists only for the other. So Aprathak Siddha, that means you cannot talk about a paper or a book without the Antaryami within. He is the very material. He is also the Upadana Karana. He is the material cause of this. He himself is this material. In that sense, Abheda, everything is one. In the form of Sharira Shariri Bhava. Ekameva Brahma Nana Bhuta Achid Achit Vastu Prakaram. One Brahman, Nana Bhuta Chidachit Prakaram, with so many differentiations, they are, Brahman exists in these forms of Chit and Achit, or the sentient and the insentient. Prakaram nanatvena avasthitam. So everything is different. See, this book is different from this cell phone. The cell phone is different from this monitor. Monitor is different from a tumbler. Like this, we have so many things in front of us. They are all different. Nanatvena avasthitam iti bheda bhedau. So there is one Brahman only, but it exists as many. In that sense, it is bheda bheda what we have, agree on. Achidvastunascha, chidvastunascha, ishwarasya, swarupa, swabhava, vailakshanyat. That is achidvastunascha, chidvastunascha, ishwarasya, swarupa, swabhava, vailakshanyat, asankaracha, bheda samartita. But we clearly see in this reality achidvastu, which is insentient, and the insentient nature of the insentient, and the nature of the sentient entities like Jivatmas, and nature of Ishvara, who is a controller. All these three have different natures. That is Swarupa, their Swarupa is different, or the form and the very essence of the substance of these three are different. Swabhava, nature is different. Asankaracha, one does not mix with the other. The Jiva does not become the Jada. The matter does not convert itself into a sentient entity. There is no mixing. Asankaracha. Veda samartitaha. So we have established Veda, or established difference. So we look at reality, Vedanta Vedya, that is what is said in the Vedas, we say it as, we accept it is Bheda, we accept it is Bheda Bheda, we accept that it is Abheda. In this sense, Ramanuja.org said it. Here, there is a problem. Look at the explanation of Sudarshana Suri here. But one thing is very clear, Ramanuja.org himself says Abhedaha Samartitaha in a particular sentence. So the word of Abheda is Ramanuja.org's own words. There is no doubt about this particular sentence among the followers of Ramanuja.org. But there is a small problem in this explanation here. Evam Shruti Anurodhena, I'm reading the Deepika. Evam Shrutyar Anurodhena Chodayati Evam Cha iti. As per the Shastra, Shrutis, Evam Cha means so. Start this sentence or this paragraph starts. Putramaha Sarvasya iti. Katam Sarvam Samarthitam Ityatraha Sarva iti. Why are these three views supported? We are talking about Parairuktaha Abhedaha, Bheda Bedaucha, Vedashruti Virodhat, Amukhyatvacha, Na Pramanikaha. That means other people like Advaitis or somebody else, Uktaha Abhedaha, they talk about Abheda. Some people talk about Bheda Bheda. They are opposed to the Bhedashruti. And Amukhyatvacha na Pramanikaha. They are not important, and hence they are not testimony. They are not valid. Vedashruti viruddhau, Vedashrutya aviruddhau, Veda Vedau, Abhedascha, Asmadabhimata iti, Asmakam Vedapaksha ityaviprayaha. Here, Sudarshana Suri supports Vedapaksha. That means Vedashruti aviruddhau, Veda Vedau. So whatever Veda Veda we agree on in the sense that they are not opposed to the Veda Shrutis. Veda Shrutis means those Shrutis which indicate that Jiva, Jada, Paramatma are different. So as long as Veda Veda is accepted in a way, not opposing the Veda Shrutis, which are definitely Vaidika Shrutis, and we cannot go around them or we cannot oppose them. So the Bheda Veda Paksha which supports this Veda Shrutis are acceptable to us. Abhedascha asmad abhimata. Abheda is acceptable. But here Abheda is said in a different way. That is because he is the Shariri, and everything is the Sharira. In that sense, it is Abheda. Because of the body Atma relationship, that is what is this? Sharira Shariri Bhava. We accept Abheda in that sense only. Asmakam Bheda Pakshayeva iti Abhipraya. So we are basically Bheda Paksha only. So according to Sudarshan Suri, we only talk, we are Bhedavadis. We are actually like the Dvaitins. So that is what Sudarshan Suri concludes here. But unfortunately, this particular text, Asmakam Bheda Paksha Eva, you look at the 8 here. Can you see it properly? I want to show this clearly.
Yes, we can see it.
Bheda Paksha Eva, here there is a mark called 8 here. And if you look at the 8 here, in the footnote, Abheda Paksha Eva Patantaraha. What does it mean? Even Sudarshana Suri's view, we have a problem. Because some people think that whatever the Deepika Sudarshana Suri Acharya wrote, some people think that he wrote as Abheda Paksha Eva. Some people think that it is Bheda Paksha Eva. Do you understand this?
Yes.
So, Abhedascha asmadabhimata iti asmakam bheda paksha eva. This is one sentence. If you look at it, maybe there are a lot of markings here you will not understand, but really speaking, this whole thing is a one sentence. Abhedascha asmadabhimata iti asmakam bheda paksha eva ityabhiprayaha. Abhedascha asmadabhimata iti. Abheda we agree on. Asmakam bheda paksha eva ityabhiprayaha is written here. But the same is also Abheda Paksha Eva, it should be there. So people have different views on the very text of the Sudarshana Suri. What did Sudarshana Suri finally believe in? Whether he believed in Abheda Paksha or whether he believed in Bheda Paksha is unknown.
Yes.
But clearly Ramanuja.org has said that Abheda is in some ways acceptable to us. Now, we have to combine this with Ramanuja.org. What was Ramanuja.org's real view? Because we cannot find anything properly here. Some people say it is Bheda Paksha. Some people say it is Abheda Paksha. Right? Okay. Do you remember, does anybody know that there was a book written by Purikhalam Swami called Bheda Samrajyam?
I didn't get a book.
You can download it from the internet, right? I think
I have the printed book by Uttama Swami.
See, in that, if you look at it, unfortunately, this particular sentence of Evam, see what happened. Let me tell you a little bit story about this. Unfortunately, I'm taking too long, but it is very important because Sri Kesri Swamin was involved in a lot of dialogues with Periyaparakalam Swami, and this is the subject matter of a sadas. Sadas means there was a conference, and Swami Sri Kesri Swamin's Acharya, one Dikshitacharya. Yeah. So Dikshitacharya was also there. He was one of the acharyas of Kesvi Swamin. And there were other great scholars at that time. And what do you call Swami Kesvi Swami said is Abheda Pakshan Madaliye Abheda Samartitahana Yenda Vakyatala Sola Muriya Namba the Bheda Pakshame Ayurthananga. If we are a Bheda Paksha, Bhedavadi is the Jiva, Jada, Paramatma are always separate. If we have this Bheda Paksha always, then how did Ramanujacharya talk about Abheda Samartitaha? This is Sampradayam. You are going against Sampradayam. How can we support you, Kesvi Swami, you shouldn't even talk. You should shut up. This was the idea given by Dikshachar to him. And Dikshachar is his guru. Then Kesvi Swami said, Adiyan Dasan, Ninga Sampradayam, Abdin Cholita. If you say it is Sampradayam, and Sampradaya Virudhama Pesha Kudade, Abdin Cholita. In the Vishate Periyaparakala Swami and Soluta Abdina, Periyaparakala Swami is an authority in all these things. Vedanta authority has written, Gudartha Sangram and everything like that. So we want to get Periyaparakala Swami's view on it. Periyaparakala Swami in the Vedanta Society Abdina, na in the Sampradaya Virudhamana Peshamata, now Vedilla Podran. Illa Peshamerpa. I will not talk. So if you just say this is Sampradayam, 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 and not understand Ramanujacharya's true view, what is the point? I will not say anything. We will not question this, and we will agree not to question this. We will agree not to question this. So this is what Kesvi Swami said. And Paragala Swami was listening to all these big, great scholars. And he said only one thing. Varadachar solradhu sampradayam illa, adu udika. Just a second. Just a second. Can I talk to you in just 5 minutes? I'll talk to you later. So, there was a big problem. And Prakaramada Swami said that Varadachari Shunade Purva Paksham Romba Prabhalam. Ningalan Solrede, it is not Warme Sampradayam, Abdin Sol Beda Pakshan Solrikare in the Ever Yare, what do you call Sudarshan Suri. And even that is not acceptable to several of our own followers. Our own followers felt that it's Abeda Paksha Eva, now Sudarshana Suri, Abeda Pakshandan Shanaran, Shalper Sulra. Shalper Sudarshana Suri, Veda Pakshan Sulra. Number the followers of Ramanuja themselves have not don't have a very clear view here. If that is the case, Abheda Samartitahan Shonamele, this has got a bigger problem. It is not an easy problem. You remember the story of Tirukachanambi, right?
That's actually, as you were talking, I was trying to look for that, what exactly Perumal told him in Arvartagal.
Darshanam Veda Evacha. That was one of the vakas. Yeah.
Veda Evacha. Abdina, Namba Sampradayam Vedanda. Abdini, Yenniko Sonar, Tirukachi Nambi, you were Pathadi when Ramanujacharya was younger. In fact, he was more like a student and he was trying to help out in the temple there. And he wanted clarification from Swami, Sakshat Varadaraja Swami. And Tirukachinambi was a Bhakti Yogin who could talk to Varadaraja Swami in the temple. That is why Ramanujacharya requested 6 questions and 6 questions. In the question answer, Varadaraja Swami kita ketuko, Perumal kita ketu, get the answer directly from Bhagavan himself, since you can talk to Bhagavan. He was waiting outside, and inside he went and talked to Varadaraja Swami, and he came and told Ramanujacharya, Veda Evacha. Let us find the original 6 questions and 6 answers somewhere later, or if you can find it.
I was looking to it, but then I also wanted to listen to what you were saying. So அது வந்து 3000 படி குரு பரம்பரால I was looking, and அப்புறம் 6000 படியில, and அப்புறம் later on tomorrow I will look through it and I'll let you know. I'll put it in the group.
Please, yeah, look at it, because those 6 questions are very important. நம்ம சம்பிரதாயம் வேதம் தான் அப்படின்னு முதலே சொன்ன மேல ராமானுஜர் ஒரு நிஜமான ஒரு ரெஸ்பெக்ட் டு தி ட்ரெடிஷன் இருந்தா அவருக்கு அப்படின்னா திருக்கச்சி நம்பி சொல்றது என்னடா பகவானே சொல்லிருக்கார். That is, Varadaja himself has said something, and that is more important than anything else. And when Tirukachinambi sincerely has summarized, or whatever he heard from Varadaraja, he told Ramanujacharya, நாம் பேதம் தான் சொல்லிட்டு வாபஸ் வந்து நம்ம சாஸ்திரம் எல்லாம் பேதம் 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 சொல்ல வரணும். Jiva Jada Paramatma are always different. It is non-controversial, non-negotiable that Jiva Jada Paramatma are always different. Why don't we come and accept it openly? That is the position of Dvaitins. They have no doubts about this. There is no mixing. Asankaracha. Ramanujar பேச்சிலேயே சொல்றார் அசங்கரன பேதம் there is no mixing up of Ishvara and Jiva. There is no mixing up of Ishvara and Jada. There is no mixing of Jada and Jiva. So there are 5 things which are known as the cornerstone definition of Dvaita, which says Pancha Bheda doctrine. Why don't we just agree? Panchabheda doctrine, because Tirukachinambi said this right from Varadaraja's, heard from Varadaraja and told us. There ends the question of any asking question. Ramanujacharya should not have even questioned. How did he come and say Abheda Samartitaha in his own words? He could have said Abheda Vakyani Samarthitani. That means what? The sentences which indicate Abheda can be Samarthita. Samarthita means it can be justified.
Reconciled.
Why? If I see Jagan Swami is coming at the airport to meet me. I came to Florida. Oh, Jagan Swami, how are you? I say. How did I say? I did not see the Jivatma of Jagan Swami. I looked at him and said, I recognize him. I know him for 30 years. Thank you for coming to the airport. So, we do Abheda, we know very clearly that the body is different from the Jivatma. But Sharira Shariri Bhava, because it is connected, we say, we refer to the Jivatma using the body. So that is the Abheda Vakyani Samarthitani, Tattvamasi, if I say, right? Tat is Ishvara. Tvam is Jiva. Tattvamasi means you as a Jiva is ensouled by Brahman, that is Ishvara. In that sense, I am saying Tattvamasi. That is not what Ramanujacharya indicated here in the sentence. Abheda Vakyani Samarthitani is never said. There are Abheda Vakyas in the Shrutis. Prajnanam Brahma. Ekameva Dvitiyam Brahma, Tattvamasi, Ayam Atma Brahma. There are sentences in the Vedas clearly which say that this Jivatma is Brahman. Abheda Vakyani Samarthitani Shona Vera Vishnu. You somehow reconcile the sentence, make some adjustments to attributes, the grammar and other things like that, and so you can say that, right?
You can't hear you.
You can't hear? What happened?
Nadula it wasn't clear. Abheda Samarthita, Kapram, whatever you said was gone.
Abheda Samarthita Abdina, Abhedam under the truth Dane. Abheda Vakyam Abdina Utulame. Vakyam Abdiana adjust Padlame. If I Nesolra, if Richard is a lion. Richard was a lion in the battle of English used Pandarum. The Richard was a famous guy. He fought a war in the Crusades and he won over the opponents of the crusade, of a Christian crusade and over a war launch. The Christian people, our famous statement is Richard was a lion in the battle. Was he a lion? He was the king of the jungle. He was so powerful. So, we can metaphorically understand what it means. So, inga Abhedam Abdina அபேத வாக்கியமே வந்து மெட்டபாரிக்கலா அர்த்தம் பண்ணணுமா? இல்ல அபேத சமர்த்திதான் ராமானுஜர் எப்படி போட முடியும்? அபேதம்னா ஆயிடுத்தே, ஒன்னுன்றதானே.
ஆமா.
சோ இந்த ராமானுஜர் வந்து அபேத வாக்கியங்கள் சொல்லாமே அபேதம் என்ற ஒரு தத்துவத்தையே சொல்றதுனால எனக்கு புரியல, இது எப்படி புரியல அப்படின்னு ஒரு கேஎஸ்வி சுவாமி கொஸ்டின் கிளியர்லி. பெரிய Abhinava Ranganatha Swami basically said, this is a very hard question KSV has asked. So let me think about it. Don't push it as a useless Purvapaksha said by an ignorant or immature person. We cannot do that. Our children sari abdin solittu he stopped the conference sadas that day. He did not go further. The next couple of days, he privately, Sri Kesvi Swami met Paragala Swami. Paragala Swami said, hey, Varada, Varavara, Rumba Mede Adingma in Perte, Rumba Buddhi Adingma in Perte, Ni Adalan Publica on Pasha, then he publicly and stop talking publicly. Sadas Lena Pasha me Rundu Abdina. Okay, Abdina. Again, he went back to see Periya Paragala Swami, or 10 நாள் ஆச்சு, 15 நாள் ஆச்சு, 20 days ஆச்சு. Can you please give me the answer of what you thought about what I said? By the time it was too late. Periya Paragala Swami attained Acharya Tirudi at that time. So Periya Paragala Swami could not even say the answer to what Sri KSV Swami said. So the summary is Sri KSV Swami thought about this for 20, 30, 40 years after the passing away of Periya Paragala Swami, probably in 1968 or 19 something like that. I don't know exactly when Abhinava Ranganatha Paragala Swami passed away to attain Acharya. So, this is a நம்ம சித்தாந்தம் வந்து மூணும் சொல்றது, அபேதமும் சொல்றது, பேதமும் சொல்றது, பேதாபேதமும் சொல்றது. இப்படின்னா இது ஜெயின பக்ஷம் தானே. I will come to the answer what Sri KSV said in some other day. We will because I want some things to settle in your minds. There was a problem and Periya Paragala Swami could not answer it because he attained Acharya Tirudi early. And that problem remained as a problem for some time. And Sri KSV Swami had to think about it and ask other great Acharyas and get an understanding of this. So let us get to the summary of what Sri KSV Swami said much later, because there's a lot of other material we need to cover to come and figure out what Sri KSV Swami understood out of it after that, some point. There's a lot of research here. So now the question is, if you just say, Ramanujar வாக்குல அபேதம் சொல்லிருக்கு, ராமானுஜர் வாக்குல பேதாபேதம் சொல்லிருக்கு, ராமானுஜர் வாக்குல பேதமும் சொல்லிருக்கு, மூணும் சொல்லிருக்கு, மூணும் ரைட்டு அப்படின்னா இது ஜெயின பட்சம் தானே. What does Jaina Paksham say? What did we hear? In one way it is like this, one way it is like something else, one way it is something else. So 7 views are still possible. That means this is Jaina Paksham only. Do you understand the problem now?
Yes.
Yes.
So how do we get out of this problem? We are not Jaina Paksham.
Adiyan, I have a question.
Yes,
one thing though, maybe my understanding of Jainism is incorrect. My understanding is they don't believe in God, they don't believe in Brahman, right? Am I right in my understanding?
They don't believe in Brahman. See, don't worry about it too much. You know why? They believe in Jivatma and they believe in yoga and purification of Jivatma to become pure and pure and pure. And so at a particular say that, they say Tirthankara or something, the purest of this one, or they call them as Siddhas. Assume that Siddha is a Brahman, doesn't matter. So what it is, whether the Jiva Paramatma difference is there, in that sense, we are different from Jainism. Okay, we agree that there is Ishvara, which is different from Jiva. In that sense, we are different from Jainism. But this is a very fundamental problem. Can you accept that Vishishtadvaita does not want to specify what their view is, because they accept different views as valid. Vedam is valid, Abhedam is valid, and Veda Vedam is valid, right?
Yeah. No,
So
thanks for, I understand now the technical, you have highlighted it, because I had the same question in my mind, but you clearly explained it, like, it doesn't say Abheda Vakyani. And then we can say he came up with Gadaka Shrutis, okay? But you clearly says Abhedam as a darshanam itself there, yeah. Yeah, now, yes, there is, I see that there is, logically, somebody can say is Jainavadam. And I'm very surprised how Vedanta Desika, being a contemporary of Vidyaranya, did not attack this or counter-attack this, pardon me.
No. See, no. Sri Kesvi Swami used to say this. வித்யாரண்யர் வேதாந்த தேசிகர் இருக்கும் போதே அவ்வளவா தன்னுடைய கிரந்தங்களை பப்ளிஷ் பண்ணல. வேதாந்த தேசிகர், maybe he was a younger contemporary of Vidyaranya. You need to go and check the history chronologically to figure out what is the age of Vidyaranya, what is the age of Sri Vedanta Desika, to figure out how they fit in together historically, right? But according to Sri Kesvi Swami, Vidyaranya wrote his works a little after the column of Vedanta Desika.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
So Vedanta Desika did not have a chance to come and look at Sarvadarshana Sangraha. So Sarvadarshana Sangraha was printed, written a little bit after the works of Vedanta Desika. By the time maybe he was too old, or he didn't know, or he didn't get the communication. I don't know what it was.
And this in itself testifies, I just to add on what you said earlier, KSV, in that lecture that you shared, he goes about saying, உனக்கு ஏதாவது ஆன்சர் தெரியுமான்னு KSV சுவாமி கேட்கும்போது, எனக்கு இன்னும் தோணல, ஆனா நான் பகவான் சங்கல்பம் இருந்தா தெரியட்டும்னு சொன்ன மாதிரி அதுல சொல்லியிருந்தது. So this in itself justifies there is a like, that analysis needs to be there.
Okay. Vidyaranyar வந்து, he was the head of the Sringeri Matham during from 1377 to 1386. The 1391 he left Earth. So
okay, 1391.
Whereas Vedanta Desika's 1368 to 1369.
See, that means at least the date of passing away is 30 years apart, 20-30 years apart. Right. So they definitely, Vedanta Desika was senior compared to Vidyaranya. No question about it. So Vidyaranya was much younger, 25-30 years younger. But I don't know how long Vidyaranya lived in his life.
It says he was born 1296. Yeah, around 30 years. So 1268 and he's 1296.
Okay.
So 1296 to 1368, they were on Earth together.
So Vidyaranya lived only for about 80 years or something?
1296 to 1391. So almost 90 மேல.
95, 90 something years, right? So the thing is, both were they lived about 100 years, right? Roughly.
He was little less Vidyaranya there, but close to it, yeah.
10 years less irkalam parvalla. So the thing is, both were it's very clear that Vedanta Desika was a senior contemporary and Vidyaranya was a little bit later. So 20-25 years difference இருக்கும். அப்போதான் வித்யாரண்யருடைய works எல்லாம் வெளியில வந்தது. So by the time he had already attacked Vishishtadvaita as a Jain work, Jain Paksha, there was no answer from the Vedanta Desika directly. You could ask, why did Vedanta Desika's son Nayanacharya did not talk about it, or some other person did not talk about it? Maybe there was communication gaps. There was some so many issues which could have occurred.
Or maybe they did and it's gone looked them.
This is a very fundamental problem. Why did Sri Alvar Swami see people one guy called Jagannathacharya who studied under Sri Kesvi Swami he has 5 master's degree and he only speaks in Sanskrit. He has come from Nepal. Right now, he is in Nepal right now. When I asked him, why did you stay with Sri Kesvi Swami for 13 years? He had only one simple answer. Kali Yuge Kesvi Swami Samo Panditaha na bhuto na bhavishyati. That means there is no equivalent of Kesvi Swami today in Kali Yuga. That is the level of respect an educated person like Jagannatha Swami had. எதுக்காக இந்த பாயிண்ட் நான் சொல்ல வரேன் அப்படின்னா, this was a fundamental problem unearthed, not addressed in the Vishishtaadvaita scholarship. And Sri Kesvi Swami opened this up openly, bravely, without saying Ardiyan Dasan என்ன சொல்றீங்க நான் அது பண்றேன் நான் பேசவே மாட்டேன் அப்படின்னு சொல்றது ஒரு ஸ்ரத்தா பக்தி எல்லாம் definitely important. And நம்ம லெவல்ல ஸ்ரத்தா பக்தியோடயே வளர்த்துட்டான். அடியன் ராமானுஜாசன் ஏதோ ராமானுஜர் சொல்லிருக்காரு, அவருடைய வாக்கியத்தால நான் நடக்கிறேன். வேதாந்தேஜிக சொன்னாரு, அவர் வாக்குல நான் நடக்கிறேன். அது ஐ டோன்ட் கொஸ்டின் எனிதிங் அப்படின்னு நான் சொல்லின்னு போலாம். நம்ம காலம் ஆயிடுத்துன்னா we go away, our children will say the same thing. After some time they will know nothing about what is the real truth. Then they say that ஐயோ இதெல்லாம் குழப்பம்பா, சும்மா எல்லாம் கலந்து மோட்சாதும் குழப்பம் அதெல்லாம் கலந்து போட்டு வச்சிருக்கா. There is no real stuff here. They will completely go away from Vedanta. Nobody questions, nobody understands, nobody thinks.
It's already happening. It's already happening.
It's already happening. It's already happening. So unless you are convinced about something, how do you have trust and conviction? This is not to open up and say that, okay, Kesvi Swami is a negative character. He finds faults with everything. He is a revolutionary and also he shakes the faith of people. He is an he's an uncontrollable revolutionary guy. He has to be ignored. அந்த மாதிரி திங்க் பண்றவா இருக்கா? Let them think. Kesvi Swami said, உனக்கு நிஜமான பக்தி வரணும்னா கன்விக்ஷன் வேணும். You have to really truly believe in what Acharya said and truly understand what Acharya said. You shouldn't be sleeping for 10 days if you have a problem. And finally figure out, ஐயோ பெருமாள் கொடுக்குறான் எனக்கு. Somebody will give me the answer. You think that God will come and give you the answer. At least have that sincerity. That's what his view was. Anyway, coming back. We will solve this problem. There is a problem now that Jaina Matam and Ramanuja Matam seems to be extremely in similar lines. And no wonder a great scholar like Vidyaranya Mahamuni, who is so respected, had a problem with Vishishtaadvaita. He thinks that you are not conforming. You are just taking all positions and there's nothing but Jaina Matam only for you guys. சும்மா ரீல் அடிக்கிறா, ஏதோ ஒரு திருமண் போட்டு நீ தனி வேதாந்தி அப்படின்னு சொல்லி தனியா வந்துருக்கா. பட் பியூர்லி நீங்க ஜெயின மதம் தான் அப்படின்னு. And you know that Ramanuja also converted a lot of Jaina people into Sri Vaishnava category. What Advaitins may say, oh, he did not convert Jain people to Vishishtadvaitam. He got converted into Jainism. அப்படி கூட சொல்லாமே. So, Jains are not small Panditas, by the way. They are very great Panditas. So, we need to know that there is a real problem in our system. And in that system, how do you understand it? Sri Kesvi Swami has explained to me this. And I can understand what I heard. That's eventually, but I don't want to say it today. We will say it next week because I want you to think about this.
One more thing, that
Okay.
Jainis won't accept Vedas as a pramanam. Am I right?
That is true. That is true. See,
Then how do we compare?
Good question. உங்க பேர் என்ன?
Narsimachari.
நரசிம்மாச்சாரி. இது என்னன்னா ஒரு பிரமாணத்தை எப்படி பார்க்கறீங்கன்ற ஒரு இருக்கு. ரைட்? இப்போ வேதம் ஒரு பிரமாணம் அப்படின்னு இருக்கா. இப்போ ஒரு கொஸ்டின் வருதும். லைக் வேதாந்தேசிகா questions this about வேத பிரமாணம். இப்போ வேத பிரமாணம் ஏதோ ஒரு சென்டென்ஸ் சொல்லிது, ஆனா அது பிரத்யக்ஷ பிரமாணம் விருத்தமாச்சு. சோ பிரத்யக்ஷமா பாக்குறேன். The Veda says some sentence about pratyaksha. Suppose there is a conflict between these two, that is Veda is saying something else and the pratyaksha is saying something else. What do you give priority to? Do you give priority to Vedas or to pratyaksha? Abdin question varume.
Yes, obviously pratyaksha only.
இப்ப ஆதித்யோ யூபஹா அப்படின்னு ஒரு வேதத்துல ஒரு சென்டென்ஸ் இருக்கு. ஆதித்யன் அப்படின்னா சன், யூபஹா அப்படின்னா ஒரு கம்பம். அந்த கம்பம் பளபளான்னு இருக்குன்னு சொல்றதுக்கு என்ன பண்ணி சொல்லிட்டு சுசியில ஆதித்யோ யூபஹா அப்படின்னு அப்படின்னா சூரியன் மாதிரி ஜொலிக்கிறதா இந்த கம்பம் அப்படின்ற மாதிரி சொல்லிடுச்சு. இப்போ அது நிஜமா இது சூரியனே இந்த கம்பமா அப்படின்னு கேட்டா இல்ல, பிரத்யக்ஷ விருத்தம். அது பிரத்யக்ஷத்துல சூரியன் வேற கம்பம் வேற. சோ பிரத்யக்ஷம்னா வேல்யூ கொடுத்துன்னு வரணும் நாங்க. இது என்ன சொல்றதுன்னா this particular thing about Jain and this one is an approach to see reality, how you understand Vedas, so Vedas is definitely pramanam, and the Jains do not want to accept Vedas. Please note, Buddha never denied Vedas. He just said, I'm not going to refer to the Vedas. If Vedas says the truth and if it is conforming to what I am thinking, I'm fine with the Vedas. So they directly did not, Vedam thappu nu sollinu varala. Ava yaru Jain also and also Buddhists also, they never said Vedas are totally wrong. All they said is, we don't follow it. I see reality in this way. This is what is the truth. But coming back, even though Ramanuja Sampradayam agrees with Vedas and Ramanuja Sampradayam, Jaina Matam does not even follow Vedas, they are in that way separate. But approach from both ends. They say reality can be viewed from different views, and different views are always simultaneously correct. Vedam is correct, Abhedam is correct, Vedam is correct. Similarly, Jaina Matam came like that. It seems Jaina Matam came like, negotiation deal, right? If some people were so much into absolute truth that exists, some people say non-exist, so they wanted to come in between, say, you Saripa, you are also right, here also right, why don't you stop fighting? There is no need for fighting. To get this negotiation, Jaina Matam came, it seems, at that time. So Ramanujacharya is doing the same thing according to Vidyaranya. Even though their belief in Vedas and all, say, what do you call, they say, Chapanaka Paksha Nikshiptam. Abhina, this Ramanuja Matam can be thought of some small branch of Jainism. So maybe in the main branch of Jainism, they did not believe in the Vedas. Some branch of Jainism believed in the Vedas. That is known as Vishishta of Ramanujacharya. So it is a attack, concealed attack. Don't take it seriously. Oh, are we really Jainists? Don't take it that way. But approach seems to be very, very similar. That is the problem here. Understood?
One more thing. இந்த சதத்யூஷணின்னு வந்ததுல அதுல இந்த வித்யாரண்யர் இந்த இதை பத்தி ஏதாவது ஜெயினிசத்தை பத்தி கம்பேர் பண்ணிருக்கல?
According to what we know, I don't see a direct verse on regarding this. I am not sure, because Shatadushani is a very complex work. Unfortunately, only like people, Shivat Sankachar Mari Aravud Irunda, Takkan Solva. If you ask somebody even who has studied under Shivat Sankacharya, he may say, oh, clearly it is said here. Or in the Paramata Bhangam, where Vilivalam Naranacharya has written a wonderful book on Paramata Bhangam. Maybe there is something which, from Vedantishika's view, which would be available.
Paramata Bhangatla, he has written about Jainism, and he refers to their principle of ahimsa, and he says that himsame pandrathu and something to that effect.
See, that is not still philosophical. That is not philosophical.
Yeah. But that's kind of no. It has gone. It's completely the philosophical. But this is the only part that I kind of heard in passing, since I have not done Kalakshepam of Paramata
we have
Bhangam.
to look into those books. But what I feel is Dikshachar and Periyaparagala Swami and all these people, they do Vedanta for breakfast, dinner, and lunch. So they would have definitely come across Shatadushani and other works, and maybe that was not very apparent or not very clear there.
But Paramata Bhangam is in Tamil. That's it's not in Sanskritam, so that may be And the
No.
Vyakhya.
No. There was no Tamil problem in Mysore. Even though Parakaramana was in Mysore, there the Acharya himself has written some padi on Bhagavad Visham. In the Bhagavad Vishathukku தனியா ஒரு வியாக்கியானமே எழுதியிருக்காரு பெரிய பரகால சுவாமி.
Yeah, I know. I had the opportunity to do transliteration of some parts.
So they're very serious scholars, and particularly don't confuse that Sri Kesvi Swami is a Kannadiga. Kesvi Swami comes from Kottimangalam, which is near Mahabalipuram, and it is very near Nagalpakam, by the way. So all these people are very traditional people. Kottimangalam has no problems with Tamil, and you have listened to so many lectures. His Tamil is very good, even though he knows Kannada extremely well because he lived in Mysore for 40-something years. But he is from Tamil Nadu. So there is a real problem here.
Excuse me, மத்தியத்துல நீங்க பேசுறது கேட்கல.
என்ன சொன்னேன் என்னவோ தெரியல இங்க.
அதான் அது என்னன்னு தெரியல, சில இடம் சரியா கிளியரா கேட்கல.
Yeah, today it's been happening.
There may be some internet connection problem. I'm not sure. Anyway, I'll try to speak slowly.
If it is in Sadadushan.
Important இடத்துல கேட்கல.
I know மறந்தே போச்சு நான் என்ன சொன்னேன்னு. See, the thing is,
the context சொல்ல முடியல.
Okay. Don't worry, you'll get the essence. The essence is okay, I think. That means we have a problem here we need to solve. The problem is that Vidyaranya is saying, Vidyaranya Mahamuni is saying that our system is something to be classified under Jainism. So this is a fundamental problem. Shatadushani and Paramathabhagam, whether it addressed this problem or not, we don't know. And that needs some more research. As I said earlier, this is a topic of very high controversy, and people have to go look at different acharyas' view. See, the problem is many of the current living great scholars have not addressed this particular thing very clearly, squarely, in a very professional, extremely well thought out way. Okay. And that is I don't know why many people have not studied Sarvankrsha. Many people have not studied so those and some things are even beyond Sarvankrsha. I have the Satyasiddhi book where Satyasiddhi, Sri Kesvi Swami goes deeper into this Vedava, Bhedava, Koyamartha, Samatito Bodhi. There are like paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs of explanation of this. Sri Kesvi Swami has said. Some of them are not even public because he told us to not publicize Satyasiddhi, right? So it is very possible that there is a fundamental geographical divide where other acharyas and other scholars might not have openly sat down with Sri Kesvi and looked at all these issues. And also there is a time gap. Sri Kesvi Swami is today 99 years old. And the other great scholars of today are in their 70s or 60s. So there is a problem here, right? There is a communication problem. This kind of stuff could exist anywhere during even the times of Vedanta Deshika and other acharyas at that time. There was always somebody might not have completely looked at what the other acharyas have looked at. So this is a fundamental problem. Anyway, we are going beyond time today.
Is it like calling Shankaracharya Prachanda Buddha because his Advaita is close to Mahayana Buddhism?
That is a totally different subject, right? That is a
no, but he's right in what he's saying in the how they make the comparison because of that. Adhe madri da in the our comparison.
By the way, Prashant ji, who told Prachana Buddha about who told Shankaracharya as Prachana Buddha? Do you know?
Was Madhvacharya or
earlier than Madhvacharya? Who said?
Sri Ramanuja.org?
Earlier than Ramanuja.org, who said?
Gaudapada or what?
No, Gaudapada is the guru of Shankaracharya, so he wouldn't have said that.
The other idena Mandana Mishra.
No, this was said by Bhaskaracharya.
Oh, Bhaskara.
Bhaskaracharya was a great scholar. He wrote Bhagavad Gita Bhashya, Brahma Sutra Bhashya and everything. And that is available in print. But for some reason, some people did not like Bhaskaracharya and they did not follow him like a separate system of philosophy. We have followers of Ramanuja.org, we have followers of Shankaracharya, we have followers of Madhvacharya. Unfortunately, Bhaskaracharya, we don't have any real followers. But he is a fantastic scholar.
But he is the same person that they Bheda person who
Yes.
they've done Khandanam of. Okay.
Yes, he is a Bheda Paksha and Ramanujacharya has just Khandanam of Bheda Paksha. But that doesn't mean he is an inferior scholar.
I mean, nobody's talking about scholarship. I mean, I'm just talking about what.
No, only some aspects, some of the aspects are common to Ramanujacharya and Bhaskara. Because their attack on Advaita is similar.
Upadhi Nala, yeah, and then
Upadhi Satyatum, Upadhi Mithyatum, adalalam konja complex varthe. We will take up Bhaskara's view. See, if we don't understand Bhaskaracharya's view, we will not understand why Vishishtadvaita is different from Bheda Paksha of Bhaskara. We will not understand why Vishishta.
So you basically have to give us a Sri Bhashyam class and then we need to get into Sarvankasha.
No. Sri Bhashyam, see, that is why we are avoiding it. See.
I have a question, please.
Go ahead.
My question is really this one. Just this. If Ramanujacharya has understood, realized the truth, he could have said clearly what it is. Has he realized the truth in the real sense of the term?
How can we figure out? I'll ask you a question back. Okay, I will question you more fundamentally, because you will say, if Ramanujacharya has realized, if Shankaracharya has realized, if Buddha has realized, if somebody has realized, can you figure it out?
No, that's true. But that's the reason I'm talking.
No, then what is your question? If you cannot figure out if somebody is realized or not, no, you cannot figure out that if I am realized. Unfortunately, I don't even know I'm realized. I don't even know.
No. My question is simple. It's a simple question. That is, because of all these controversies, doubts, if I know the real truth, and when I really know the truth, I can explain it, I can write it, no?
No, that is not true. You know why? You asked a very fundamental question. Good that you asked this question. When you write reality, whatever you experience when you start writing, it is always having problem. It does have, because writing is only,
yes,
it is not direct anubhava.
That right? I agree.
For example, there is a wonderful sweet in front of me. I can write 1,000 pages on that sweet, which you have not tasted. Nobody in this group has tasted a beautiful sweet my mother did with some kind of concoction. Okay, that particular concoction of all the yelakkai and other things she put, nobody else knows that concoction. Suppose, and I want to explain that to you. I write 10 books on it. Do you get any feeling of that sugar?
No.
Anubhavam is not transferable by the shastras and textbooks.
That is very, very correct. But that is why I said we should not take all these to extreme. We should only know this and that, and then we should.
What do you mean by extreme?
What do you mean by extreme? Means the textbook knowledge of anything, whether we are reading Vishishtadvaitam, Advaitam, whatever, the textbook knowledge can give only one aspect, some guidance towards reality. Reality has to be experienced. Anubhavatmakam. So Ramanujacharya writes in his works, Swasamvedyam. What does it mean? What does Swasamvedyam mean? Can anybody tell me?
Samvedyam means we should realize for ourselves on our own.
Swasamvedyam means what?
Swasamvedyam means it is revealed to one oneself.
Our அனுபவிக்கணும். அவன் அனுபவத்தால தான் தெரிகிறது.
அது நிஜம்.
இப்ப சுத்த ஜீவாத்ம ஸ்வரூபம் ஸ்வஸ்வம் வேத்யம் அவ்யக்தம். அது it is unmanifest, it is only understood by themselves. யார் சுத்த ஜீவாத்ம சாட்சா்காரம் பண்றாளோ அவளுக்கு தான் புரியும். Only they know. Other people can talk, listen. This is like Lord Krishna's wonderful words. Ascharyavat pashyati kaschidenam ascharyavat vadati tathaiva chanyah ascharyavat chainam anya shrunoti shrutvaapyenam veda nachaiva kaschit. இந்த ஜீவாத்ம ஸ்வரூபம் ஆச்சரியமா ஒருத்தர் சொல்றான், ஆச்சரியமா இன்னொருத்தன் கேட்கறான், ஆச்சரியமா ஒரு பெரிய தீசிஸ் எழுதுறான், ஆச்சரியமா ஒரு கான்ஃபரன்ஸ் ஜீவாத்மா கான்ஃபரன்ஸ் அப்படின்னு பண்றான், கேட்கறான், சொல்றான், எல்லாம் பண்றான். கடைசியில வேத நச்சைவ கஷ்டித் நோபடி நோஸ் திஸ் ஜீவாத்மா அப்படின்னா என்ன? அனுபவாத்மிகமா தான் எடுத்துக்கணும். ஒன்லி அனுபவம் கேன் கிவ் யூ. இது டெக்ஸ்ட் புக்ல படிக்கிறது எதுக்காகனா, நாம எதுக்காக படிச்சுட்டு இருக்கோம் இப்போ அப்படின்னா,
to guide ourselves inwards.
ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்ரோதவ்யோ ஆத்மாவாரே திரஷ்டவ்யா. ஆத்மாவை அனுபவிக்கணும் ஃபர்ஸ்ட். அது அனுபவிக்கிறது எப்படி அப்படின்னா, ஸ்ரோதவ்யா, ஸ்ருதியில சொன்ன விஷயங்கள்லாம் கேட்டுக்கோங்க. மந்தவ்யா, மந்தனம். இதப்போ மந்தவ்யா மீன்ஸ் கான்டெம்ப்ளேட்டிங், கொஸ்டனிங், அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங், லாஜிக்கலி அனலைசிங். மந்தவ்யா. அதுக்கப்புறம் நிதித்தியாசித்தவ்யா இருக்கு, சாட்சாத் அனுபவம் பண்ணணும், ஏதோ ஒரு யோகத்தால, ஏதோ ஒரு சாதனத்தால.
Yes, that is the thing.
That is what I was going to say. It's a catch-22 situation. That is when the path comes in. So often we are stuck with whether should we trust the path and then the realization happens, or should we learn first, like then the path comes afterwards. So the path, yeah.
Your question is very powerful. I will give an answer because you asked a wonderful question. Does இப்போ
and that's my realization.
படிச்ச மேல ரியலைசேஷன் வரதா? ரியலைசேஷன் அப்புறம் கிளாரிபிகேஷன் கோசம் படிக்கணுமா? இந்த விஷயம் ரொம்ப நல்ல கொஸ்டின். ஏன் தெரியுமா? இது நான் சொல்றேன், இது நம்ம சம்பிரதாயத்துல சில பேருக்கு, எத்தனையோ பேருக்கு இது கொஞ்சம் வேற மாதிரி தெரியும். இது நீங்க என்ன சொல்லிட்டு இருக்கீங்கன்னா, ஆத்மாவாரே திரஷ்டவியோ ஸ்ரோதவியோ மந்தவியோ நிதித்தியாசித்தியான்னு சொல்லிருக்கு. திரஷ்டவியா முதல் போட்டுது. திரஷ்டவியம் அப்படின்னா என்ன? ஆத்மாவை அனுபவிக்கிறோம், பார்க்கணும் அப்படின்னு அர்த்தம். You have to see Atman. Then the second sentence comes later. The apro shrodavya mantavya nididasitavyan போட்டிருக்கு. So shrodha கேட்கறது, திங்க் பண்றது, கான்டெம்ப்ளேட் பண்றது, அப்புறம் தியானம் பண்றது எல்லாம் ரெண்டாவது செகண்டா சொல்லிடுது. முதல்ல திரஷ்டவியா சொல்லிடுது. இது எப்படி சொல்ல முடியும் அப்படின்னு ரொம்ப பேர் யோசனை பண்ணிருக்கா. நம்ம சாம்பிரதாயத்துல என்ன பண்ணிருக்கான்னா, இல்ல திரஷ்டவியான்றது கோல். அப்படின்னா பகவானை அனுபவிக்கணும்ன்றது கோலு. இது என்னடா, நீ படிக்கிறது, கான்டெம்ப்ளேட் பண்றது, ஆர்கியூ பண்றது, திங்க் பண்றது, அப்புறம் தியானம் பண்றது, நிதி தியானம் பண்றது எல்லாம் ஃபேக்ட்ஸ். சாதனா கடைசியில சொல்லி கொடுத்து, கோலு முதலே சொல்லி கொடுத்து அப்படின்னு சம்பிரதாயத்தை இப்படி சொல்றான். அதான் எனக்கு தெரிஞ்ச மாதிரி கேஎஸ்வி சுவாமிக்கு ஒரு குரு இருக்கார். அவர் யோகி. அவர் என்ன சொல்லணும்னா, இது இந்த மாதிரி அர்த்தம் பண்ணக்கூடாதுரா அப்படின்னாரு. அவர் சாட்சாத் அனுபவத்துல சொல்றவர். அனுபவம் பர்சன். நான் சாஸ்திரங்க சம்பத்தி நான் ஒன்னும் சொல்றது இல்லை, எனக்கு அனுபவத்துல சொல்லிட்டு இருக்கேன்னு அவர் சொல்றார். என்ன சொல்றாருன்னா, பழைய காலத்துல காயத்ரி மந்திரம் உபதேசம் பண்ணுவா. யாரு? ஒரு small kids will learn ninth கர்ப்பாஷ்டமம் அப்படின்னா 9 வருஷமோ 8 வருஷமோ அதுக்கு அவனுக்கு ஒரு பூணல் போட்டு காயத்ரி மந்திரம் உபதேசம் பண்ணுவான். இந்த காயத்ரி மந்திரம் உங்களுடைய மனசுல நினைச்சுக்கோ, அதையே தியானம் பண்ணிடுவா. காயத்ரி மந்திரம் தியானம் பண்ணா உனக்கு பிரம்ம சாட்சா்காரம் ஆறுது அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு கொஸ்டின். அந்த ஒரு ஒட்டுன்னா அந்த பர்சன் ஹூ காட் தி த்ரெட், he asked the question, நான் பார்த்தே இல்லையா பிரம்மனே, அந்த பிரம்மன் பத்தி நான் எப்படி திங்க் பண்ணிட்டான்? காயத்ரி மந்திரம் ஜபம் பண்ணிச்சா பிரம்மத்தை திங்க் பண்ணணுங்கிற நான் என்னைக்குமோ பார்த்தது இல்லை. பார்க்காத, if I have not seen something, how will I do japam or remembrance of it? I can remember. If I have seen an elephant, I will remember, oh elephant அப்படின்னு remember பண்ணிட்டேன். If I have seen something, oh இது நான் பார்க்கறது, அந்த வஸ்துவை பார்த்தல. I have not seen Gayatri or the Devata or the Brahman or whatever you are talking about. How can I do Japam? Is that question? So this Acharya told Sri Kesvi Swamin, the Acharya was a father or some other third party Acharya who Gayatri Mantra Thottu Diksha, Mantropadesham is not like the modern day opponents. And the time our Evodo Tapas Pani Ava Sakshatkaram Pandanda Avabdina and the Vatu Totapuram, a Upadeshi Apudi Totu Kurpado, like Kada Kid, Sholi Kurpado, and the Upadesh Shanodani and the G and the Vatuk and the person you would get the realization of Brahman, that is, he get a spark in his mind, or Jyoti Vande, oh, Idadanda Brahma Surupam and Romali, Terinjuduma, and the Karata. Apo, Ida, other version now and the Dhyanam Bandre, Manasa and Kanda, I just got a flash, but that flash was not continuous. So let me think about that flash, that Jyotir Darshanam of Brahman. Apudina Panindradana. So the Swami said, Sri Kesvi, that there was a way in the past that they could give initiation in that level, but now such an initiation is gone because all of us have gone to lower levels in realization.
And this
Excuse me, I want to.
Sorry,
I want to tell one my opinion. Hello.
Please go ahead.
இப்போ இந்த உபநிஷத் வாக்கியம் ஆத்மாவாரே திரஷ்டவியான்னு சொல்றதுக்கு earlier when we had 3 states of waking state, dream state, sushupti, earlier they used to normally experience the turiya stage also.
Correct.
They had the capacity at that time.
Exactly.
Gradually now we have lost.
Exactly.
We don't know what is turiya itself.
Exactly. So we are talking from a very low level today.
Yes, that is a natural state of human being to experience even the 4th state.
On a daily routine. See, because
Yes,
in a daily we experience 3. See, we definitely are awake.
On a daily basis.
Exactly.
All the
daily
4 states.
All the 4 states. We only experience 3 continuously. That means we can dream.
Even third is not possible for us.
What is third?
Even sushupti is sometimes people do not
have problems.
know.
Problems. They have to get some drugs to go to deep sleep. But still, normally if we assume sushupti.
That is why it is told drashtavyaha first.
Correct. Exactly. Atmavara Drashtavya means even on a daily basis. I think you pointed out a very good important thing. Even on a daily basis, one should be able to go to Turiyavastha, that is the 4th stage, where you connect with Brahman and get some perception of Brahman. Everybody can go to different levels of Turiyavastha. Not everybody can go to Turiyavastha. Is not like a particular milestone.
One more point is, if you're not capable of seeing, then take up to Shrotavyaha, then Mantavyaha, then again Nididhyasitavyaha, and you will come back to Drashtavyaha.
Correct. So the thing is perfectly said. So that is the Sampradayic view. Because we cannot see, we have to start with listening, contemplating and meditating on Brahman.
That if you want, if there is a need for you.
Exactly. If there is a need, of course. So anyway, today we have gone 20 minutes, 25 minutes beyond
Thank you very much.
class
Thank
time.
you very much. Sorry about
Actually,
that.
45 minutes, but that's okay. I mean,
It's okay. Hope this was useful.
I skipped the other class too because I didn't want to be late for it. So anyway,
hopefully they have recorded the other class and
they will record. Yeah.
So this
and also I missed the previous one also, and I have not listened to the recording, so I need to catch up on that also. So that was the other.
Please do, because this came in the last class. This particular thing we read in the direct Sarvankasha. Sri Kesvi mentioned about Vidyaranya's comment on Vishwadvaita. It became important for us to realize it properly. That's why we went a little serious. Hope this is not too much of a digression. I wanted to give some value.
Wonderful discussion. Thank you.
Shri Krishna Parabrahma, Shri Lakshmi Parabrahma, Shri Lakshmi Hayadala Parabrahma, Sarvam Shri Krishna Parabrahma, Shri Varadati Mahaprabhu.
Thank you, dear.